pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Would you lead us in prayer, please?
Heavenly Father, we come to you with humble hearts and we ask that you give us wisdom when we make decisions that will affect our community. We ask you to bless our community and all of our residents. We ask you to bless and protect our employees, police officers, and first responders. And we thank members of the military, both past and present, and ask that you keep them safe. Lord, we pray that we are always aware of your guidance in everything we do. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Okay, the rules we got, if the vote comes out 2-2-1, we're going to eliminate the bottom person, the one, and then we will re-vote. So the majority will win. So you guys go ahead and write down who you want to nominate and or elect, and then pass it forward, and we'll have the clerk take care of that.
Regular meeting following executive session, January 17th, 2022. All fives the same.
Okay, Mr. Ford, you come up here, I will swear you in. All right. I do solemnly swear
I do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
the Constitution of the State of Ohio.
and I further affirm that I am not now,
I further affirm that I am not now,
nor I have been in the past,
nor I have been in the past,
a member of any organization,
a member of any organization,
association, movement, group, or combination of persons
association, movement, or group, or combination of person
who will advocate the overthrow of our constitutional form of government,
who advocate the overthrow of our constitutional form of government.
who will faithfully, honestly,
I will faithfully and honestly
and impartially discharge the duties of office
and impartially discharge the duties of the office
of councilman
of councilman
of the municipality of Beach City, Ohio,
of the municipality of Beach City, Ohio,
during my continuance in said office.
during my continuance in said office.
Very good. You may take a seat.
Thank you.
Right here.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Okay. Go with the minutes.
I make a motion to pass the minutes.
I'll second it.
Balzer,
Abstain.
Bennett,
Yes.
Hartman,
Yes.
Schott,
Yes.
Porter,
Abstain.
and Yoder. Yes.
Bills.
Make a motion for bills.
I'll second.
Balzer,
I have a question before we pass that.
Okay. That's the first one.
There was something for Cindy for utilities, something.
She came in and covered for Abby.
Okay,
That's
that's
what
why I
it was.
just was,
Yeah.
it was unusual.
Yeah, we don't pay her on payroll, she's paid direct, and at the end of the year, if she makes 600 or more, she'll get a
W-2, or,
1099, yeah.
All right, thank you.
I have a motion by Bennett, a second by Hartman. Balzer?
Yes.
Bennett?
Yes.
Hartman?
Yes.
Schott?
Yes.
Porter?
Yes.
And Yoder?
Yes.
Okay, we got one hourly workers' time report. Okay, no questions on that. Fireman's time.
I'll make the motion.
Balzer?
Yes.
Bennett?
Yes.
Hartman?
Yes.
Schott?
Yes.
Porter?
Yes.
And Yoder?
Yes.
Okay, Debbie, you're up.
I'm requesting to encumber $450 for the solicitor for that Ohio Municipal Attorney dues. I checked and I didn't see where we paid them, so I'm wondering if you were getting that for Stark County maybe?
There wouldn't have been any municipal representation, so it wouldn't have been that.
Maybe one of the other communities?
It could be, but
Do you want us to send it in, just to make sure you still get it?
what I would say is,
Maybe call
if
them?
we've not historically done that, then I don't feel comfortable with each city absorbing the cost. Why don't I look into it to
Okay.
see, and if I'm deriving value from it, then rather than putting that solely on the village, maybe I can just pay it.
Or they can split it, I mean.
Yeah, but I'll look into that further and
Okay.
find an answer. I thought historically maybe it was being paid,
Yeah,
but
I
if
couldn't
that's not,
find it, yeah.
if that's not the case, then I'll figure that out.
Okay. We need to vote on the 2 members of council that are going to be on the volunteer fire a dependency fund. Is there anybody that wanted to step up and do this? The fire dependency fund really never meets as far as the group. They're there in case there's an emergency that we would need them if something would happen to our members.
I will.
Georgie, John,
Yep.
you wanna vote on that?
Somebody have to make a motion. Or you just
Make
want
a
to
motion.
vote on it?
I'll second that.
Hartman. Okay, Balzer,
Yes.
Bennett,
Yes.
Hartman,
Yes.
Schott,
Yes.
Porter,
Yes.
and Yoder.
Yes.
We received a thank you from the Elaine Amos family. I will read it, it was very nice. It says, "Dear friends, thank you for the contribution to the community hospice in memory of my mother, Elaine Amos. She took much pride in serving the wonderful people of Beach City, working in the post office and being a part of many of the other aspects of the Beach City community. Many fond memories will be cherished involving the people of Beach City. Your contribution in her memory is very much appreciated. Sincerely, to her daughter, her name is Roxy Rush."
Elaine always tried to get me to join the choir. No, I'm serious, she did. She go, I said, I can't sing. She's got a beautiful voice. Were you okay?
She must have been
She
dead.
was, no, she was going.
We will start working on the reporting for the year-end for state withholding, the year-end, the Hinkle reports for 2021, and then we'll move forward to the 2022 appropriations and revenue. I have a new document here. It's an email from the auditors. They have contacted me. They didn't give me a date, but they're working on a date to come in and start our 2021 audit. One of my questions to Ann Spiker at their office was, when I leave in 22, will they come in and do a special one-year audit at my records? No. I always thought they checked the clerk going out. They wait the second year and they go through the records of the new clerk coming in. That way they can help train them. I mean, they really help me a lot. So there won't be any additional cost when I leave. It'll still go to a 2-year audit, but it will be a full audit. It will not be a small one, so it'll be close to $15,000 to $20,000. What they did want was that there's an item number 6 on the email. It says, please have the board or the council president email and let me know if they are aware of any potential fraud risks. So if you haven't voted on the council president, I need to know who to get this to. So when we get to that, I need to pass that on. And it's got her email and everything on there.
Got it right on your bid.
Okay, we have the legislation. It's the first reading of ordinance number 2201. It's an ordinance to authorize the annexation of contiguous territory owned by the Village of Beach, City, Ohio, pursuant to RC 709.14. That'll be your first reading. That's annexing the cemetery. Okay. We have ordinance number 2202, an ordinance to amend section 2B of the ordinance number, which is my ordinance for the last payroll. There was a mistake, no one caught. We did not increase the cemetery sexton amount. We missed that, we all missed that, and I asked Stephen to fix it for us. It was originally at, I think, 2,000, and it went up to 2,995.20 now. So that'll be your first reading of that. We have the second reading of resolution number 2201, a resolution to authorize the mayor of the Village of Beach City, Ohio to execute a contract with Ohio Building Incorporated. It'll be the second reading, and I'm sorry, I forgot to call Pam to have her talk to you, Stephen, about, you had questions about how they worded it.
Yeah, just
Worded
the
it. Yeah, you just-
incorporated agreement.
Yeah. And then the last piece of legislation is resolution number 2202. It'll be the first reading, a resolution to authorize the mayor of the Village of Beach City, Ohio to execute dispatch contracts with the Regional Emergency Dispatch Center. It'll be your first reading. The only other thing I have is, I think, Stephen, you've got a copy of it, we'll need legislation for Maslin Transportation. Did you get that? Did Kurt send that to you?
Oh,
I saw something
for the
about that.
prisoners.
Yeah, okay.
I will look and I'll prepare the legislation.
Yeah, if not, I've got it. And that's all I have.
Okay,
That's okay.
we're gonna do the, we need a council president, so we need a nominations and we'll vote.
I would like to nominate Councilwoman Schott. She's been doing it for a couple of years, and you're perfect for it.
Any other nominations? Oh, Deb, you're fine. Let's take a vote, huh?
Yep, I have a motion by Hartman, do I have a second? I'll second that. Balzer?
Yes.
Bennett?
Yes.
Hartman?
Yes.
Schott?
Abstain.
Porter?
Yes.
And Yoder?
Yes.
You're so humble,
Thank you, everybody.
This is, I remember when you first started your office, and
What's that?
you did what, you did how many last year? 3, I think, but I did 2 at the end of the year, so you've had 4 altogether. Yeah, I believe so, as mayor.
I thought this whole story was made up anyway.
Oh, well, yeah, okay.
Okay, I think we covered this. Anything in executive session is for the new people. Executive session, we don't talk about it anywhere. Also, this is something that I was thinking about. We've been really busy lately, and we have meetings coming up, and Zoom meetings and all this and that. So, my boy did this. He made an appointment to see Jim. I think if somebody wants to, because like Debbie and Amy, a lot of times they have payroll, they don't want anybody, you know, unless you're gonna drop something off, or, you know, you just wanna drop in and say, you know, a couple of words, that's fine. But if you have a concern, I would think that'd be nice you contact the person, you know, either Abby or Jim or Debbie to see if they have the time and stuff. You know, most of the meetings, we have Zoom meetings are in the morning and stuff, usually the afternoons, they're not too bad. But that way then, you know, I mean, if it's gonna be like like say I got this great idea or whatever, and you wanna discuss it with Jim or something, or me even, wanna do that, that'd be fine. But then besides that, oh, I do have one person that, cemetery board, so far David Claw. I'm gonna see if we can get two more, and if we get all three of them, then we'll put them on. And, it's not a hard job, it's just like something like 1 year, or once or twice a year, and we have to do pricing and stuff, and we got plats coming up, or what do they call it?
Survey?
Yeah, they're gonna have to section it off and all that. Anyways, so that's all I have. Oh, would you like to talk about the committee meeting? Please?
Okay. The Big City Park and Recreation meeting was on January 11th at 6 p.m. at Village Hall. Those present was Mayor John F. Hartman, Village Administrator James Spivey, and Council Member George Schott, John Hartman Jr., Sean Area, and myself as well.
I do not have that.
Parks Committee, along with other items, was presented with the mission statement and our vision statement and our goal statement. And I would like Mary Beth to cover the mission statement.
Mission statement is to provide all citizens in the village of Beach City the highest level of programs, facilities, and services that will positively affect our vision of creating community. The Department of Parks and Recreation directs comprehensive park and services within the community buildings and athletic fields. Our scope also includes partnership with associations, contractors, vendors, and the community at large.
And George Schott has the vision for it.
Our vision, great parks have the power to increase our quality of life and strengthen the fabric of the village of Beach City. Our vision is to provide affordable recreational opportunities for the residents with a focus on families, youth development, adults, and building healthy communities. The programs and services offered by the department will provide excellent value, quality, and emphasize the equitable distribution of resources throughout the village. We will offer these programs in a safe, attractive, and well-maintained facility that will reflect our community's needs and interests. Great parks for economic development and make our citizens happy, our community strong, and our village sustainable.
And our goals that we put together is to provide multiple generational opportunities within the city, to grow our park system as the city grows, to consistently engage our members, our residents to assess their needs and increase the utilization of park services and the pleasantness of a peaceful atmosphere, to increase public awareness and knowledge of the recreational opportunities for our residents and our visitors, to efficiently plan and execute successful events. And that's all we have. And on top of that, I would like to call a Park and Recreational Committee for January the 25th.
Yes.
25th and 6th.
That's what he said.
At Village. We have a 3-step form that we're working on for recreational and parks, so next one will be the second step.
See that last part.
The meeting,
Yeah, just the last part in the statement.
January the 25th at 6 o'clock. At Village Hall.
May I have copies of all what you read? Are they all on one paper or something?
No,
So I can put it in the minutes and.
You can have my copy and you can just give me one.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh, there was one other thing I had before we go anywhere. This Stark County Law Seminar, me and Greg went to this a couple years ago. There's a lot of interesting stuff. I'm gonna need $50. Council will say that it's okay for me and Jim to go to it on Saturday, February the 26th. We need 2 people because they have so many things going on at the same time.
I'm gonna make a motion.
You-
Didn't we at one time say like 4 people? Is that one you taught? Yeah.
Oh, we could do that.
Well, no, I
Oh.
just imagined.
I thought it was just being,
Hazel and I were there.
did you guys pay your own way? Oh, no, that was the RPC.
No, because Steve.
Oh.
Yeah, this is our RPC does this. We don't pay.
No, that's what they did.
No, I'm not saying you for it,
Oh.
just asking if it
Oh,
was the
yeah.
same event.
And nobody came to my session, I was very hurt. No, I'm just kidding.
And okay, that's $50 for both, then.
It would be 25, yeah, just for person 60.
I have a motion by Hartman, a second by Balzer. Balzer?
Yeah.
Bennett?
Yes.
Hartman?
Yes.
Schott?
Yeah.
Porter?
Yes.
And Yoder.
Yes.
Okay, do we have any visitors up there doing
No,
business?
there is no visitor speaks.
Not that I see.
Dale, you are up, sir, and you
I
get to
am
read
up.
it instead of me.
That's
Because
fine.
Your chief didn't send me anything, he called me at 5:30, and he goes, well, I'll email this. to
You know he slips once in a while, and you'll find me.
Well, he was sick there for a while, oh, excuse me.
For those of you that have not met me, because there is new faces, my name is Dale Thompson. I am your paramedic, your main paramedic in this town. But I also run all of your EMS at your firehouse. I do help Chief out a lot when he can't make it here because he is on a swinging shift. I'm lucky to be on a straight shift. So anytime he needs me to come up, I come up. For the Beach City Fire and Rescue last year, at this time, we had 20 runs. At this time this year, so far, we are run 9, so it is down a little bit. This is a nice thing. Between that time, we give mutual aid to Wilmot Fire 1 time. We receive mutual aid from Brewster Fire 3 times. Last year, we got a grant to get new air packs and an air compressor to fill these air packs and everything. Council members over here before knows that the air packs are in and they're in service. The air compressor just arrived. Totally federal money, so it's just arrived. We are waiting for Wood Electric to come in, they have to do all the wiring on it, that will fall into that grant money also. So as soon as I get that installed, I'm hoping by next meeting, we'll be able to let you guys know that project is done. The issues with the grass fire truck sitting out at MPI, they have found out it was a wiring issue. There is some burnt wires in the cable. So they are replacing parts of the wiring harness. We're hoping to get that back really soon. Still working on completing, we are switching over to Cleveland Clinic EMS. And all that is a protocol change. It does not change anything for you guys, but you need to know and have everything in order on this side to know that we're going with new protocols. I'm the one reviewing all the protocols and that since I'm over EMS. We already have 2 classes scheduled to get everybody else up to speed. Not gonna be a big change with services. We're going with them because being a bigger system, they're gonna help this city and our fire department out more with replaceable supplies. That's the biggest reason for the change. We are staying with the IMS reporting system. They offered a different reporting system that they were gonna assist purchasing. Through negotiations through all this, we are gonna continue with IMS and we are getting them to assist with that purchase. So they're also gonna save us some money on that. So, like I said, I've been working with them every day, so we'll get as much as we can out of Cleveland Clinic. I'd rather see them pay for it than us. Please put out a reminder to everybody with this snow to clear out your hydrants. Make sure we can get to your fire hydrants. Been there in many a fires trying to get to the club. Please, if you can shovel around it, please shovel around it. We also have a new member that is joining. I personally did not see the application. I know Bill has it. I don't know if you guys has received it.
I'm receiving.
We have a gentleman that wishes to join our fire department. His name is Ben Miller. He already has his EMTB training. He is already a firefighter, and he does live inside this village. So we would like to start the process with him. Chief would like to have the $65 needed encumbered for his FBI and BCI checkup.
What was the name again? Sorry.
Ben Miller.
We need to vote on that, the
In a
$65.
minute, but you got more money coming up.
Oh,
That's why you said you.
That's why they always send me.
That's how we
They
were
send
gonna
me
say.
for the big money, eh?
Big money. Oh, boy, all right.
We have contracts for the service on EMS equipment. We have 2 power cots that are serviced every year. We keep them on a yearly contract. 2 loading systems, them are kept on a yearly contract. Every AED you see around the village are checked once a year on this contract. We have 2 Life Pack 15s that are under a full service contract. So if anything goes wrong, I have a number I call, and I have met him up there at 2:30 in the morning, and he has our heart monitors running. And we have a full service contract on the heart thumpers, the CPR machines that we got with this, we got that with the CARES Act money. We got that. For years, we've had all these contracts separate. Poor Debbie went through nightmares. She'd pay one bill, and then another bill would come, and then a bill would come from this department, because the striker with the cots is different than the physio control with the heart monitor. So it's been a nightmare. I consolidated, I rolled, I even went up to physio control and sat down with them. We now have every contract through physio control striker in one package. One bill, one payment, done. If Debbie, as the financial director, would like this split up ways, we can also split it up in either quarterly or halves. Personally, if the money's there, I'd rather see it all paid for the year and be done. My personal preference. Total to cover everything for 1 year. Let me get my glasses so I don't misread this damn thing. We're all in glasses now. $8,855.60.
Now, but those funds would be coming out of the
That
fire
is fire
department's-
funds, we pay that
That
every
is
year.
fire, but not all. There are a couple of pieces of equipment that are in different departments.
Small,
We
small,
have-
it's nothing major though.
The AED set in police vehicles,
Mhm.
$350 a piece for them.
And there should be what,
AED
three?
that sets here, $350 a piece for them. The reason for that $350 without the contract, we get new batteries in them every year because you want an AED to run. Without the contract, it's $380. With the contract, it's $350. You save $30 by putting it on your contract. Same service, same plan, same thing. So we have it put on the contract.
is that all the money you need?
That's all the money, the $65 and then the striker
Okay,
money.
it'll come to $8,920.60.
I'd like to make a motion to pass that.
I'll second that.
And I'd say,
Will that kill our funding?
it won't hurt the funding now, but after I'm gone in the coming years, you may want to revisit how we pay this.
This is entirely can come out of the EMS grant that I write every year. Now that I got it together, we can get some of that money out
Okay,
of there.
because once we lose that extra millage, it'll make a difference on
Yes.
how we pay it. You may want to go to half or quarters.
one reason I worked so hard to get this on the line contract.
Does that include or exclude the one I just paid?
Excluded it,
So it's gonna go up another.
$2,888.
You may want to talk to them. See how he wants to have it.
Okay, I have a motion by Hartman and I have a second by Mr. Porter. Okay, Balzer. Bennett.
Yes.
Hartman.
Yes.
Schott.
Yes.
Porter. And Yoder.
Is that all, Dale?
That's it, except Debbie, I had a little bit of printing problems, so I don't have the entire contract printed right now. I'll bring it up to you tomorrow so we can complete the signing and emailing of it, so they know it's passed.
Got it.
I thank you guys so much, good
Thank
meeting
you,
you
Dale.
guys.
Thanks
Hopefully
for all
we'll be
your
working with you in the future, you know that.
Thanks, sir. Chief, Guy. Man.
Okay. Housekeeping, they don't need as much money as fire department needs this week.
Oh,
but you need
He's paying attention, he's listening.
Next month I might need more.
but you
Denied.
but you do need money, right?
Well, absolutely. The first thing I'm working on is I'm working with the fire chief to set up CPR classes for my officers. I'm sure there'll be some kind of fees involved with that. I know mine expires later on this year, so we're gonna get all of our CPRs updated. I believe they go to the AEDs as well during that class, so. Once we get that scheduled, I just messaged the fire chief tonight actually, and he said he's gonna work on scheduling that, so we're gonna try to get involved in that. This year, the police department's gonna have 22 hours of continuing professional training that the state's gonna require. And you may have to pay for some instructors. I have 2 instructors on the department who has given me their certifications. One is Brian Carvenia, who is an instructor at the Police Academy, Stark State University. He's an instructor there, if I remember correctly. And then I have another officer who actually works for OPATA. He is a compliance officer that goes around the academies to make sure they're doing everything correct there. So he's both of them, and then I've spoken with Mr. Babick here, and he's offered to help us with some of the training as well. Just a heads up that we've got some.
So
got some training
is this
for us.
22 hours between the whole department or each officer?
Each officer has to do 22 hours.
Okay.
Yep. So we're gonna work on that. I saw some Facebook mumbling today about snow parking versus snow removal.
I got a famous one today.
If anyone has complaints regarding people parking, they've gotta call us.
I don't think it was the parking.
Or was
Was
it
it
that one
Melissa?
truck? I didn't really read through all of them, I just saw it was a.
Renee?
I watched the guy, to tell you the truth, so his comments are untruthful that he put on there, because I saw it with my eyes. But I heard what she saw was that the plow guys went down, and they went around the car, no problem. But then he was stuck in. So he finally dug himself out, took off down the road, and then went back and shoveled it and threw it all into the middle of the road. And that's where she got upset.
Okay,
And I watched him chuck it.
that makes sense.
I just shook my head and went in. I knew the guys would take care of it. They go up and down the road all day long. But she put it on Facebook.
Yeah,
I did see it.
I took a quick glance at it, and it was saying something about why it's not enforced. I'm like, well, we've gotta be called in. My officer this morning was snowed in, so I was on call,
Yeah.
so.
I figured I'd just muffle it and say, I'll mention it and leave it
It's
at
sort
that,
of
but then, oh my
enforced
goodness.
because you had to dig your car out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a punishment.
Church Avenue, when they first went in, that was always clear. And then today, there was 2 cars sitting over there, and they were both, they, you know,
With
they
the
were
amount of
plowed in
snow,
because that's the way it goes. And, yeah,
with the amount of snow we got today, that is punishment. I think
I
you're gonna
do
be digging
believe
for a
this
while.
house is a new residence.
okay.
This summer, no, it's owned by Melissa on the
Oh,
corner.
okay.
It's just been remodeled, but I think they're new. They might have just moved in the
Yeah.
summer.
But yeah, putting it out the
Well,
road, that opens up.
My
this
alley
issue.
did not get cleared, and it runs to our business.
We're gonna talk
And-
to Rick.
Well, no, I was gonna say, I don't care, we just use the A driveway.
No.
I mean, it's not that big a deal.
I just wanted to ask a question about the sign being posted, notifying the residents about the restriction of parking. Is there a sign near
I believe there are in multiple places around town. I've had to look and see.
I know there's one very near to the front of my
Yeah.
house.
I had to look on that, exactly what you're talking about. I don't know.
But if we have a new resident,
Yeah.
They may not know.
there's a possibility of,
Was
trying
he
to
I
give
did
people
let
the
them know that's where the
benefit of the
sewer
doubt.
is, our guys need clear, you know, and he
Right.
chucked it in the road after they just did it. It was really rude.
Do we know, I'll get with you after the meeting, find out
Yeah.
exactly. I just, like I said, I glanced at it, I'm like, well, nobody called me about this, you know? I didn't have time to read, there was like 30 comments on there, I think, by the time I was.
I just figured, I'm not the police, I went back in and let
Yeah,
them
yeah,
know.
yeah, they're-
And it's the same when the electric's out, they put on Facebook, you do electric out instead of calling the electric department,
Yeah.
ask them to come fix it, so.
And also on that note, we do not monitor our Facebook page 24/7. I've had a couple
Yeah.
residents that like to send us messages and we won't get them for a while.
Yeah.
If you've got a police problem, they've got to call our number and we will address it. The other thing I have is me and the village administrator, I asked him to look into, we're starting to look into the process of maybe putting an impound lot in town for the police department. I think it could bring in some revenue for us, instead of paying it to go to a junkie, or not junkie, but a impound lot. Keep it local, keep the fees local for it. Not a whole lot to it. I've checked with insurance and, I called Joel regarding this, who is our insurance agent. He didn't seem to think it'd be a huge issue. If I would have one of my officers, say Sergeant Myers, who's here full-time during the day, able to collect payments for that, he does not have to be bonded from my understanding because he'd be covered under the insurance policy. So I'm still looking into it. It's the very beginning starts. It's just, I'm throwing it out there to you guys. I like to throw any ideas I have out to you before.
Is there a specific location that you're looking to do this at?
So, village administrator found, was looking, I talked a little bit beside the garage, what's the first garage?
Street garage.
By the street garage, and he had about a 30 by 70
Close,
area,
yeah.
something like that.
So you can fit, what, 7 cars, 8 cars?
Probably a little more than that in there, 30 by 70.
Yeah, I'm sorry, yeah, okay.
Wouldn't you be the tow company that?
So the way it would work, like some at the very beginning stages of this, what we do is we call the record company, then they would send the village the bill for the initial tow. So it's like a 75, say it's $75. They could still be on a rotation, which we have at the ship, at the dispatch. So they rotate through, so that way we don't just use one towing company, we use multiple ones on a rotation. As long as they sign up on that rotation, what they would do is we would pay the initial cost of that, say it's $75. We then recoup that towing fee when they come pick their vehicle up, and they'd be, say, and it's just rough numbers, they would pay like $25 a day for that car to sit there, starting the first night it gets towed. So it's like $75 for the tow, plus say a $30 a day, $25, $30 a day after that. If they don't come get the vehicle, we look to get it and then auction it off. So I mean, it's an idea. We could also, put that offer out there to, say, Brewster, Navarre, and Wilmot, that if they would be interested in, say they have a vehicle they need to keep for evidence. Instead of going to an impound, we could put in our secure lot, it'd be a 6-foot high fence, barbed wire on top of it, with a
That
camera
was my next
covering
question,
the
was
area.
fencing and security and cameras.
Yep.
Is there a cost estimate on?
We don't have we don't have the cost yet on any of this. It's just the research, very beginning stages. I just wanted to get your thoughts, something for you guys to chew over, and obviously come up with questions for me, because if I missed something, it'd be good to.
I just have a question of, how frequently in the last year or so has the city been involved in the impounding vehicles, and what kind of fees have they paid other places for
I
that?
don't know the fees that they've paid at other
Okay,
places.
I would just be
I can
interested in
tell you,
knowing.
we do about 1 to 2 a month, on average right now is what we're averaging. Just depending on where things go, we get accidents and everything else that happens, some months are bigger than others. I have talked to other departments of comparable size of ours, and I can tell you one department, from my understanding, bought 4 brand new police cars from an impound lot, just for having that. I know one city brought in over $100,000, and granted, they're a city, we're a small village. So I mean, it's just an idea, it's something, anything I can do to try to bring us in extra revenue without, so, but please think of questions you guys would have for me on
This
this.
location again, where did you say it was?
It's down like behind the police station.
Where the salt bar
It'd
is.
be up some.
Up
yeah.
two garages.
Right where there's probably a truck and what else is up?
There's a red truck sitting down there,
Yeah.
right in that
Right,
area.
if you go past the recycling bin, it's
Yeah.
right,
Yeah.
right there.
And that's where the salt barn is, so it's all right
The
there.
salt bar is down over the hill.
Yeah.
Oh, it's in that
Well,
area.
You can see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's in the salt barn
Okay.
police department area.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, it's just, like I said, it's an idea. If
So
you
the
guys-
initial investment is fencing and security,
That's it.
because you already have a lot.
Yep. Yeah, just whatever the fencing is, we're waiting on the estimate to come back, once we get that back, but it's just, it's an idea.
That was your idea?
I don't know about all that. We're trying it. I always try to think of different ways where we can,
Right.
Yeah, he does.
Definitely keep looking into that, and I think that if something would happen to where we can do this, I think that, getting Brewster Navarre, Wilmot to, come in, and bring those vehicles to us, I think that is a fantastic, that would probably be the best way to do it. Just having us alone probably wouldn't be hugely beneficial,
yeah.
but I think if we had the other villages around us, I think that'd be a lot better.
It would be, yeah, and if we could, like I said, I don't know what all would go into that, and I'm really curious on that. The biggest expense is gonna be that fence. And if it's gonna come back at $20,000, I'm probably gonna cross it off pretty quick.
You're gonna say it takes a lot of cars to make up for that.
You could put one of your guys on the roof with a rifle.
The other thing I have is the SUV that Beach City owns is needing, and I'm sorry, I couldn't exactly get the full form to, I know you and Sergeant Myers working on that, Debbie. The axles,
Yeah, do you want me to go look for it in my basket?
yeah, did you,
I've got a form on it.
I think it's, if I'm looking at the right one, I'm just making sure I have the updated one there, the axles, the 4 axles need replaced. And it's gonna need a 4-wheel alignment. They're saying both seals are leaking. And on, I believe that is the rear. And on the front, the intermediate shaft bearing, growling, grinding.
Okay, so, a couple questions on that one. How many miles are on that?
65,000?
There's no way an axle should be replaced at 65,000 miles. I spent 10 years in automotive, there's no way.
Okay.
So, axle seals, possible. Do we just take it to one
Well, it
place?
says remove and replace both rear differential axle shaft seals.
Okay,
And then on the front, it's remove and replace right front axle shaft assembly.
it doesn't say why exactly bent or
It
anything
just
like
says
that.
intermediate shaft bearing, growling growling / grinding.
Is that from Nick's?
That is from Nick's.
Take it somewhere else, maybe
Not a problem.
Absolutely.
I've done that before with some other things, so like I said, I don't know much about the axles, I have no problem getting a second estimate on it. The other thing they did say we need is 4 new tires. It says left front inner tread is going bald, right front inner outer tread is going bald as well.
Do those get rotated regularly?
That's what I was gonna ask. If we gotta do it.
When we do the oil changes.
Should do it.
I
Those
believe
tires
would
should be
believe they would
rotated
rotate
at
those.
least every other oil change.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then, also, if the front end's not aligned correctly, that will
Destroy
cover
tires.
There is
tires.
there is an alignment in here, inspect steering and
Mhm.
suspension components recommended correct at normal tread wear.
And most of the time when you go for an alignment, I know nothing about this company.
Okay.
But most of the time, when you go for an alignment, they always find things wrong with your vehicle that may or may not be wrong with it. That's why it's good to get a second opinion, or get a
Yeah,
second.
absolutely.
quote. Yeah.
We did that the last time I got a second opinion on it because of the headlight,
Mhm.
and it was gonna cost us over $1,000 to get that fixed, and I got it done for free.
See.
Nothing
Yeah.
against, nothing against.
Like
That's
that.
what I'm saying, I
Yeah.
don't know anything about this
Yeah, so
company.
I
Where are you gonna
so
be
I'm not-
taking it to?
I will probably take it to Casey's down in New Philly.
Is it drivable?
Yeah, it's completely fine right now.
You're just having some vibrations or something?
There's some grinding, a little bit of grinding noises. They thought it was the brakes and it's the axle, so that's why we got it checked. So I will take it down to probably Ridgeway Auto, have them give me a second opinion on it. That's where we took it last time, whenever he fixed the headlight, he did it for free for me.
You may wanna call Ford. If you only have 65,000 miles on that, if I was you, I would call Ford and explain to them that you're being told that you've got an axle shaft that's gone bad, and, you know, explain to them that, you know, what's going on, and at 65,000, there should be no issues like that.
I've got contacts at a Ford dealership, I'll contact them,
Absolutely.
see what they say.
Because you might be able to get that under warranty.
We didn't hit anything or like,
Not that anyone's told, not that I-
anything to knock it out of the way. But one thing I will say, and I agree with George, at least every other oil change, those tires should be rotated, because especially when they're on the road all the time.
What do you do your oil changes on, every 3,000 or every 6?
I would have to check with Sergeant Myers, he's in charge of vehicle maintenance.
If it's
It's a 2014.
5 or
isn't
6,
it?
you know, if it's 5,000 or 6,000 miles that you're doing your oil change, you're supposed to do it every time. If it's every 3,000, you do it every other
Yeah,
time.
I'll check with him and see what he keeps the maintenance records, he's the one that's his responsibility, I'll double check with him, see where he's at with it.
That'll save us a lot of money on tires. I'm not saying that that's what caused it, could have been anything.
I know we used to put the Pursuit rated tires on it,
Yeah.
and we were replacing those twice a year because
Oh,
they're
yeah.
soft rubber.
Yeah, you don't.
So I removed those, and they were costing us the same amount as what it is for us to get these all-season tires on it,
Mhm.
which we don't do Pursuits here.
No.
We have a no Pursuit policy, but these all-weather, all-season tires work just as well and keep them just as safe, and it saves us money by not having to replace them because of how soft that rubber is on, because we were going through tires like they were going out of style before, so.
Did you ever set up a maintenance list that they're supposed to do before they put the car out?
They're supposed to
That
check it.
should, they should check the tires also. Is that on the list?
Let me look at it.
I mean, just, some of the guys, they wouldn't know if the
I
tires
don't believe the
or
tire, I
something
don't
weird.
believe the tire thing is, I believe it's just a check around the vehicle, and they have a space where they put any issues they have, so.
I know nothing about the vehicle you're referring to, but I know most of the vehicles now have automatic indicators of low pressure that
Mhm.
shows on the dash.
Yeah, this one does not.
Okay.
That's too old.
Yeah, it's a 2014 or
Or
15.
I think it's a 14.
It's a 14, yeah, it's an old one.
I think that's
Unless
what's on the
somebody-
license
unless
plate,
they
it's 2014.
So, yeah, I'll check into it, I'm not sure what's wrong, I know we've had some recalls on it, so we'll double check it, I'll check with Ford. I'll contact the dealership tomorrow and see if there's any recalls that they're aware of that was causing.
And then explain to them what the issue is and what you're being told. Because if it's something that's under warranty, I don't think any of us here wanna pay for something that
No.
could, that
Like I
they
said,
could
that's-
put under warranty for us.
So that's why I have no problem with a second opinion on that, like I've done in the past, just to be safe. And nothing against Nick Crouch, if he's doing
Mhm.
work for us, but never hurts to just double check everything.
Absolutely.
Oh, and we don't wanna be changing axle shafts
No.
if they don't need repair.
Yeah, because
you
my
know.
quote right now is at $18.95. And that's for the 4 tires and the axles, so your tires, you're looking at $645.76 for the tires, which isn't horrible for 4 tires. But you got $1,200 in axle repair, so we'll look at it, see what we can do. Other than that, that's all I have.
All right, thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
Mr. Spidey.
Yes. Water, wastewater. We have cleaned out the storm pit that's over off of Tower Street. And we're gonna get in there and pull that pump out and see what it's gonna take to fabricate a mounting bracket for that to attach it to the wall. We did find out that the pit is a dirt floor pit, there's no cement on the floor. So I have to rethink how I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna attach it to the wall somehow. So we're gonna start working on that here soon. I'm working with Quicksols again. We still have 2 unresolved issues with our NOVs from last summer. I've asked them to help me get that fixed. There's some issues with our asset management being updated, and our contingency plan needs to be updated as well, which we would have had to do anyhow, seeing as how we have a change in the guard down there with Lonnie's retirement. And we're gonna move forward with the County One repairs from the crash from 2019. We got the cement poured for the transfer switch The conduit was all put in, we poured the cement, and I'm just waiting for wood to come back and get everything put back together there. So we'll be back into pre-crash condition, and our generator will be hooked up again, so we'll have backup power there at the County One lift station. And like I said before, I'm still waiting on word for the grant that we got for that. The grant we're trying to get for refurbishing County One's pumps and the wet well itself because of deterioration. And then street department, I have to send out a shout out to our street superintendent, Rick Savage, for the fantastic job he did today with the snow removal. He was out at 3 o'clock this morning and he worked pretty much all day. And this is after just getting back from being off sick for a week, 2 weeks. So he did a pretty good job. I know there was a couple issues. I only got one phone call from a resident that we had missed his dead end alley, and we did take care of that. So other than that, I think he did pretty well for being by himself. That happened. So, and the fireman mentioned his air compressor. I talked to Wood about getting them back in here to finish hooking that up. Once they're done, then the air compressor company comes back in, and they're the ones that do the initial startup and get things running. So hopefully that happens this week. Wood Electric can come in and get that hooked up for us. The other issue I have with AMP, our electric supplier, I got an email from their senior vice president of power supply and energy marketing, and they have what's called RECs, which are renewable energy credits. So because they are there's solar, there's the hydroelectric generation, and specifically the joint venture 5, which is the Belleville hydroelectric plant that we buy electricity from, which is owned by AMP. They get these credits, and the way it was explained to me, these credits really have no value to us per se, because we don't have an initiative in town to claim that we are a green energy supplier or green energy buyer. So like, I'm sure you've heard, like different companies would say, we buy all renewable energy consumption. And the way they can say that is by these renewable energy credits. So the only value they have is if somebody wants to buy them, so they can say that they only use renewable energy for their supply. So there's no value to us because we don't have that initiative. Although we do use solar and we do buy power from them, financially there's no gain for us other than selling them. So they did sell all the credits from the last 3 years, which would have been 18, 19, and 20. And on our last electric bill that we received from AMP, those credits were there. And it was a significant amount of money that we got for selling the credits. And what they're asking now is, are we willing to sell the credits from 21 and 22, seeing how the market for credits right now is good, and the money, the dollar amount is up for those credits. And it's all a mathematical equation on how much power you buy from that particular generation plant. So that's what he's asking, and in my opinion, from what I've learned about this, it's a good thing for us to sell them. We get that money back. And if anyone wants to look at that and discuss it further, I'd be glad to do that. But I'm asking council to approve for me to sign this document and elect to sell the credits, the renewable energy credits from 21 and 2022, while the market is good to sell those.
Make a motion.
I'm sorry,
The Hazel's.
Walter,
Yes.
Bennett,
Yes.
Hartman,
Yes.
Schott,
Yes.
Porter,
Yes.
and Yoder.
Yes.
Thank you for that. And the last thing I have is our mass communication, our OnSolve. I'm still working diligently to try to get that initiated. Our first course is to get the word out that it's available to the residents. There's some work that I'm doing with creating the zones, the mapping, so that we know where all of our customers are and getting that information to the company so that we have, I forget the term she used, but it's a map basically that I can pull up and I can zone out certain areas that everyone that's in that zone will then receive the message, whatever it would be. So, you know, like we were talking about a boil alert, things like that. If it's a certain neighborhood, I can circle that neighborhood on a map and then everyone in that circle gets the boil alert. So I'm still working on creating those, but on the other hand, we're trying to get the word out. So I've created some letters. We've got some literature from Code Red themselves that we're gonna send maybe in the next bills at the end of the month to try to get the word out there. We'll be putting it on our Facebook page. And now that I have administrative control of the website that we have, I'm gonna try to get it on there.
You did.
Huh?
You did.
It's on there?
There's a link there, that's what I wanted to ask, because what is that link for? Is it an old system, or is that newly in place? I was
So
trying to bring it up, but I can't.
Dan must have helped me do that, the previous owner.
Code Red.
Yes, it's Code Red.
I signed up to that.
Yeah, okay. So that's
This
good.
would be,
So
you can sign it
it'll
up.
be the
Code
same
Red.
spot, and they're the same.
Yeah, so it must be on the website already. He must have done that for us.
Yes.
So that's good. So anybody that you know in town, if you want to talk to them about that, I will have information, some papers, flyers, whatever, to explain it. I guess it's pretty easy to sign up. Would you agree?
It wasn't bad, the only thing you gotta watch out for is if you don't commit to, and check out as guest, you'll never be able to do the geo. So you might have some people that will be like, I'm not creating an account, so it's not gonna know what address you're at or anything else. I was able to at least stop it because it got hung up, so I started it over and I just went ahead and joined it, just so in case you needed to test it. So,
Okay. That's
Can we
interesting.
put something on the utility bill at the base that kind of gives that, so, like, with just a basic instruction so we don't run into something like that?
So I have a trifold flyer that I'm gonna put in the next
In the
utility bills.
utility bill.
Yes, that'll go out with them.
Cool, and they provided all that as part of the
Yes.
service too. Nice.
Yes, that came from them.
Will that be attached also to those of us who don't get a paper bill?
Why don't you?
Interesting.
Well, it just comes via email.
Yeah, you get it by email. Okay.
I'm still paper, so I didn't put all.
I don't like.
Could you make it-
You
So,
can view statement, and does it look the same as ours? Because it would be,
yeah, it's-
it'll be
it's-
at the
it's a
bottom of it
PDF.
then. It'll be at the bottom,
but
right?
these are using a trifold
Yeah. So,
brochure
So you won't
banner
get
or
the brochure,
whatever.
you'll just have to stop in and get it.
So,
Yeah, see, the bills,
The
when it
link
comes
might
to
show.
email, it's automatically generated, so I can't,
okay, that's what I was asking. I don't know how many other people just get their.
Just plug
their
a note,
bills.
if you receive this via email, stop in to Village Hall and grab your brochure for more information.
yeah, so, but I can put a link or some type of notice at the bottom of the bill.
There you go.
You just gotta
That
get
will
people to
work.
read it, so,
Yeah.
yeah, I can do that on the next bills to go out. I'll try to do that.
And there's a frequently asked questions on there too, so,
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty helpful. I
Are
just
we
went
allowed to
through
do
it like
anything
that.
at the post office, like a pick up a flyer there? Everyone's gonna go in there if you're not getting
So part of the letter that I'm gonna send with the bills, it's gonna state that there's a couple ways you can do it. The text, you can go to the website, or you can come to Village Hall, and we'll sit down and help you sign up if you don't have, you know,
The text will make you go to the site though.
yeah, the text alert goes to the site.
No, it will return a reply with a link to go to the site to finish the setup.
Oh, okay.
I should have tried, I mean, I can try it on my other phone and just send a text and just see if you can send out an alert, you know, see if I can get it. That's another option.
Oh, okay.
It still may work without having to do a sign up.
Yeah, okay. So I'm still a little green on most of that stuff. Tomorrow, after, I think it's tomorrow, we have
After our safety meeting.
a training session with them on Zoom. So they're gonna Abby's gonna be involved, myself and the mayor will sit down and try to figure it out. You know, they're gonna train us on getting things started, how to send out a message and that. So,
Are you able to see how many people have signed up on it?
I'm sure I will be able to,
Because
once,
we know how many residents, and then you can see how many signed up, just so you can see where you're at.
yeah, once we get it
How are we
going,
reaching, how we need to reach to get on
it does give me a report.
it? Okay.
Like, you know, and supposedly it tells me, if I sent you something, it tells me when you read it, or if you read it or not.
Beautiful.
So yeah, it's pretty interesting. I just gotta figure it out.
Or
So-
if you just click mark it as read.
That's all I have. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Well, Mr. Babbitt.
Yeah, so, three things, the two ongoing, the mobile home and the two vehicles, I'd hoped to have those wrapped up, I didn't, I apologize, I have everything compiled, the affidavit, I just need to walk it through at court. And then, obviously, there'll be time for the clerk or the judge to sign off on it, so that's ready to go. And then, the third item is, we had passed the legislation relative to the natural gas aggregation program, and I wanted to be sure, the 90-day deadline for the election is coming up. Was that certified to the Board of Elections, or?
I was gonna ask you, do I need to take anything else down to them, or just the copies of legislation?
You should be able to just take copies of the legislation. In that legislation is the proposed language.
Okay.
I just wanted to be sure, it occurred to me last week that the 90-day is February 3rd, I think.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to be sure that it was, otherwise it won't get on the ballot, so. But I think all you need is the legislation for it.
I'll double check the column before I go down.
Okay, and if you need anything from me, feel free to give me a call. And I don't have anything else.
Okay, is there anything else?
We could schedule a utilities committee meeting for Thursday, the 20th.
You have a
Okay.
committee
Do we have a committee appointment?
Well, I have, yeah, I just had to redo a little bit, I put in, I just scratched off, but I had to, for some reason, I had my son only on 2 committees, everybody's on 3, one person's on 4.
Yeah.
So, anyway, so I put him on, but, yeah, we got, on the utilities, we'll have, Nathan, will you be able to make it Thursday?
Here.
Yes.
Yeah, here at 6?
At 6, yes.
You'll be here
Yes.
then? Okay, we'll
So
do
you're gonna
that.
have 3 new people on that committee.
Yeah, I guess so. So where am I at? Yeah, because I only got 2 old people.
Hey, I'm done with that.
You said younger, I know. But yeah, so, yeah, that'll be fine.
And that's gonna be at 6 PM?
Yeah,
Yeah.
6 PM on 20th.
Is that?
That's
too early?
utility.
Nope. Okay.
Oh, no, that's fine. All right, yep, we're gonna do
Can
that.
we get an updated one of those then, once
Yes,
it's all ready?
I am going to do that tomorrow morning when I get here, and then I'll give it to you. You are going to be, I didn't change you, I don't believe. I only changed John on the one thing. You are on Parks and Recreation, inventory, and, where are you?
Finance.
Yeah, and you're on finance, yeah. In fact, I made you the, oh, matter of fact, I made you the boss of it while you're chairperson. And all the chairperson does basically is runs the meeting, and then they can make the report, you know, so.
You
Getting
can
after money.
schedule meetings. You can schedule for meetings too.
Yeah, you can do that, you can do that, bring, you know, ask for, so, okay, is there anything else? All right, thank you very much.
One last thing, before the meeting adjourns, if you could get contact information for everybody here.
Absolutely.
We're working on that.
Sure you can,
So-
yeah.
There's an email list.
Private email list, yes, we are working, since we got on the website, we got the domain name and everything now.
So,
Danny did give that, because we should thank him for it. Well, I did thank him, but we should send him a card.
Is everybody's cell phone numbers?
Okay,
Is
that
that
help?
updated?
And then,
Well, it's got all, it's got you and me on it.
Okay, I didn't see
Sean,
that
so,
there.
yeah.
oh, does
I
it?
got one right here.
Okay.
But it doesn't have
has
emails
Georgie's.
on there?
No, because they're, yeah, no,
Okay.
there's no email.
Oh, she has them. Just me.
Yeah, I have, so it has everybody's.
It has everybody's on there, yeah.
If-
Okay.
If you receive a telephone call from a 361 area code, that's me.
Okay,
Ignore, gotcha.
Well, I mean, my phone's still in South Texas.
And if I don't answer, no offense, I don't answer numbers I don't
So-
That's why I'm letting you know.
recognize. And I also,
So what is your number in it?
361-947-0585.
Okay,
I'm
because
assuming you're gonna call or text me, so I'm not gonna write it down.
I'm
Exactly.
sure that Abby's gonna end up making a new list for us. When the number is this modified or
I
whatever.
was just checking to see where it was from.
Okay. Thank you.